and welcome back to my channel. I am the Mass Trans and you are watching me, baby. Now before we get today's video started, I just want to give a quick what's up to my peeps and a diabolical middle finger to the creeps. You know who you are. Alright you guys, so it is Thursday morning. Yes, it's about 9:30 a.m. on Thursday. And I just woke up and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about a video that I had previously made discussing the whole Dave Chappelle, The Closer Netflix special. Sorry, let me get this mask adjusted here. And I want to talk about, like, I feel like in the previous video I made, that maybe I didn't do as good as a job as I thought I did about talking about the good that I saw in the video, right? Because based on the comments, a lot of people feel that, I guess I didn't think it was funny, or I thought it was malignant or toxic in some way, shape, or form. And I guess to a degree I probably did, but maybe not to the degree that people think. So let's unpack that and let's talk about it for a little bit. Like, one of the things I wanted to talk about yesterday that I found particularly funny, and I probably should find it funny, was when he did like he talked about the 80s gay phase. That ish was funny. That ish was funny. That took me out when he talked about the 80s. It was ignorant, but I guess that's why it was funny. But oh my God, when he talked about the 80s gay phase, I was done. And so yes, the 80s gay phase thing, that took me out. But what I didn't like about the 80s gay phase thing is that, you know, he talked about, you know, gays from the past being tougher, stronger, more resilient than the gays, the LGBTQIA plus members of today. And for me, again, because I'm black and I'm trans, I see both sides of it. That would be the equivalent of someone white telling me, you know, why are you guys marching for George Floyd? Or why are you guys upset about, you know, the Gap putting a coolest monkey in the jungle t-shirt on a black child? You know, I miss my 50s and 60s blacks. They were tougher. They got billy clubs. They got hosed down, you know, they got bit by dogs. I miss those types of blacks. They were resilient. They would have never been bothered by this stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? Times change, people change. And that's where I feel like Dave Chappelle is a little tone deaf. A little tone deaf. Did I say deaf? A little tone deaf when it comes to LGBTQIA plus issues, you know. I get what he's saying, but society as a whole is hypersensitive, right? You know, but Dave Chappelle saying that in that moment to me is tantamount to the MAGA movement, Make America Great Again, you know. Like, you know, you want to harken back to a day where the LGBTQ community was oppressed to a far greater degree than they are today. So I disagree once again, but the joke was still funny. I got what he was saying. I get where he's going. People need thicker skins. People need to be less sensitive. I get the point of the joke, people, so calm down. Calm down. I get the joke. But looking at it from a more deeper and impactful statement, a lot of people aren't going to dissect it and look at it in a very comprehensive way. They're just seeing what's on the surface and feeling like I can say whatever I want to say and you shouldn't be bothered by that. And I'm sorry, I disagree with that. If you guys could hear some buzzing or humming going on in the background, I do apologize. I have my central air on. I am hot-blooded, baby. I sleep with my fan on in the winter. It's AC, central air, fan. I like a cold room. Comment below if you like a cold room too. And it's not even just the air from the fan. I like the vibrations from the fan. There's something about a fan being on that helps me sleep. Let me get this straight here. It's a little cattywampus here, y'all. Okay. All right. So, hold on. Look. I'm doing it by myself over here, so I don't want to hear your mouth about this production quality. So, damn, come on now. I'm not cutting this out either. It's going to be just like this. This is how y'all going to get it. This is how y'all are going to get it. Is it still straight? Okay. All right. Okay, I think that's better. So, the 80s gay phase thing took me out. What else was really funny? There was a lot that was funny, and I'm sure it will gradually come to me as I talk about what I'm here to talk about. And that is the whole story about Daphne, trans trauma versus black trauma, right? That was really the crux of the matter for me. The crux of the matter for me is that Dave seems to, in my opinion, as a black trans woman, again, I'm both, right? I'm black and I'm trans, so I know both sides of the struggle. So, look, Dave is only seeing one perspective, right? As a black trans woman, you catch it from everybody. You catch it from everybody. You catch it from the black community. You catch it from the cis community. You catch it from law enforcement. You think law enforcement only abuse black men? Do you have any idea how law enforcement treats the LGBTQIAP plus community? I do. I do, right? So the thing for me is, as crazy as it may seem, as bizarre as it may seem, we are more alike than we're different. The same struggles that black men go through, black trans people, LGBTQIAP plus people go through too. And it's division that sometimes created, like what the baby said was blown out of proportion because he said it about LGBTQ people. But a lot of his previous infractions were mitigated because he punched a black woman in the face. He jumped on like a hotel valet. I believe he beat up a promoter. And we already talked about the Walmart incident. So this man has a whole history, a lineage of dysfunction. A lineage of dysfunction. And for me, the Rolling Loud piece was the coup de grace. I mean, like, the baby took it to another level with that. And I don't think that what he did at Rolling Loud, it was going to be bad no matter what. Because what he said was crazy. Unprovoked. Now, I'm trans, right? And I'm considered crazy because I'm trans. Something has to be wrong with me. You know, I'm unbalanced. I'm unstable. You know, I'm supposed to be crazy because I'm trans. But this man hops on the microphone. Y'all, work with me, people. Grabs the microphone. Ain't nobody did nothing to this man. And just goes on this tirade about people who have not done anything to him. If that makes some sense to you, baby, look, they got therapy apps. Download you one because you need to talk to somebody. Because it doesn't make sense to me. And I consider myself logical. I consider myself open-minded. But it doesn't make sense to me. And I hate the fact that black men keep trying to defend this behavior when it's so clearly wrong. You know, not just the part about what he said at Rolling Loud, but the fact that he punched a black woman in the face. And didn't see a problem with it. You know, let me tell you something. You don't walk up to a black woman, punch her in the face like that, go on about your business. And he did issue somewhat of a quasi-apology, if you will, to her. And feel like, and like, that's not the first time you've done that. Clearly. Because you're walking around this world feeling like you're untouchable. I'm the baby. I get to do whatever I want to do, behave however I want to behave, and whatever I smoke I have for anyone, you better receive it, or else, you know, there's a this could ratchet up for you, and you don't want them problems. He's a bully. He's a bully. Being called the baby doesn't give you the right to act like a child. You know, maybe he needs to change his name to the grown man. Something, but like for me, you can't martyr the baby and make him sort of the scapegoat for the struggles of black men. It just doesn't work. Now, if you're talking to me about Elijah Cummings, okay, if you want to find someone who is, because what happened to, if you don't know who Elijah Cummings is, out in Denver, out in Colorado, go look up that story. That's someone that you can maybe use to make a point. Just a really sweet, kind, gentle energy, and the police took him out. The baby, this man, like, I mean, there's video of him jumping on people in luxury stores. Like, he is always in some sort of altercation. And let me tell you something. When you see that type of energy constantly surrounding a person, usually that person is the common denominator. And I feel like all of these black men who are creating these excuses for him are really hurting him. Because somebody needs to tell him the truth. And the truth is, you need to sit your ass down. You need to keep your hands to yourself. You need to respect women. You need to respect people. That really is the crux of the matter for me. It's just, listen. I know it may sound crazy, but even as a trans woman, as a black trans woman, I'm not out here campaigning for people to accept me. I don't believe everyone has to agree with me being who I am. That is your right to disagree, because I might disagree with who you are. I might not like who you are. I might not care for all the weed you smoke, the alcohol you consume, the promiscuous lifestyle you lead, because I don't live that lifestyle. And so I might see what you're doing and think, why would you? But guess what I do? Mind my business. Mind my business. Because it's not my business. It's yours. It's your life. You have a right to live the life that you choose to live. So as a trans woman, I don't go around campaigning saying, look, I'm trans, you need to accept me. Stop punching down on me. No, I'm just out here at the grocery store shopping just like you shopping. I'm out here at Target shopping just like you're shopping. I'm out here at the car lot buying cars just like you're buying cars. I'm out here buying homes just like you're buying homes. I'm out here having dinner just like you're having dinner. My point is, I'm out here living my goddamn life. And if my life is not infringing on your quality of life, then leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. And I don't understand why that is such a hard concept for people to grasp. If you don't like it, then just don't F with it. If it ain't effing with you, then don't F with it. And so when I watched this whole Dave Chappelle special, the one thing that I did love about it, I shouldn't say the one thing, but one of the things I love most about it was that when he told that story about Daphne, the room was silent. I mean, I'm two white women sitting in the middle. Well, who knows? Do you guys remember the Muppets? Those two old men in the peanut gallery that used to just sit up there? That's what those two women in that audience reminded me of. Those two women were not here for anything Dave had to say, but they were already quiet. But the rest of the room joined them in their silence. So when Dave put his foot up on that speaker, baby, and leaned into the crowd and told this story about Daphne, the room was in tune. They listened to every single word that man has to say. And that is the beauty of Dave Chappelle and the danger of Dave Chappelle, is that people listen to what he has to say. His words have power. And in that moment, when he leaned up on that speaker and talked to that audience and told that story that was so enthralling, as a trans woman, I felt healed to a certain degree. In that moment, I felt healed. And I felt healed because people were listening to what he had to say. And what he had to say was essentially that, look, Daphne was just a person. The hoe couldn't do a stand-up act. She wasn't funny worth a damn. At least not on stage. You know, she wasn't funny worth a goddamn. But at the end of the day, she was just simply a person trying to find her way through this life, trying to navigate through this life. And I think that that's what more people need to understand, is just people are people are people are people. Everyone is fighting. You know, Christians don't like Muslims. Blacks don't like whites. Gays don't like straights. Straights don't like gays. Trans don't like women. Cisgender women don't like like, at some point, people just have to stop. At some point, people have to wake up. And, you know, I don't want to go all MLK on y'all, but at the end of the day, he said it best. You have to judge people by the content of their character. And that was the message I think that Dave was trying to convey. That Daphne was really just a person. And she was a person who was hurting, a person who had experienced trauma, a person who didn't know where she fit in this world. You know, and I said in my previous video, what will make you laugh will make you cry. And I, as a trans woman, could see that, because see, I can see things from Daphne's perspective, which is something Dave may not be able to do. I could see Daphne sitting there in a room and jokes are being made about trans people. And because people know you're trans, you're like, uh-oh, I'm the odd person out. How can I fit in? How can I align with this group of people who aren't trans? Uh-oh, maybe I'll laugh. And that's not really how she felt. I can't say if that's true. Maybe she was laughing genuinely. But as I said, what will make you laugh will make you cry. And words have power. Dave Chappelle is a man with a lot of power, because people will quote this man and quote this man and quote this man. I can't tell you how many times since his previous special that I've heard the LGBTQIAP plus community labeled the alphabet people. That came from Dave. Now that tells me that long after the special is gone and he's gone back to his life, the legacy that he's left in terms of that special lives on in perpetuity. And so yes, as a trans woman, as a black trans woman, do I want him to be more sensitive, more understanding, and to bring a greater awareness to the fact that trans people are just trans people and not this malignant fringe group who is out to hurt, harm, you know, and pillage? Yes, I would like to see that. But at the same time, it's not his duty to speak up for me. I have a voice. That's why y'all watching this video. That's why I have this YouTube channel. Because I can speak up for myself. My concern is always people who are not able to speak up for themselves. Because this mouth, baby, this particular mouth, you don't want a minute of it if we have some sort of verbal altercation. I promise you. I promise you. And a lot of the reason this mouth is the way this mouth is because I have been verbally assaulted and vilified simply for existing. And I reached a point in my life where I said, I wish you would. I'm at the I wish you would stage of my life. I wish you goddamn would. I wish you would. I wish you would. But the thing that I understand about that is that it took me some time to get to the I wish you would phase of my life. There was some growth, some maturation, some armor that had to be built in order for me to get to this point. And I know there are a lot of people who are trans, LGBTQIAP plus identified, who don't make it to this point because life gets too tough for them. Life gets too hard for them. They don't have a safe place to exist. And because of that, they choose to go the route of death. So yeah, I get bent out of shape. No, I shouldn't say bent out of shape. I have a very strong opinion about the things that Dave Chappelle has said. Maybe not so much critical of what he said in this particular special because I felt like this was the perfect balance, right? It was funny. I laughed. It was irreverent, but I still laugh. But at the end of the day, he brought it all back full circle to a healing moment, and I appreciate that as a trans woman. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't see everything else that he has done previously that I disagree with, but I did find healing to some degree in this special. Again, definitely some ignorance mixed in with the intelligence. Maybe that's the perfect branding. Dave is a perfect amalgamation of ignorance and intelligence. The double eyes, baby. He's ignorantly intelligent. And I'm here for it to a degree. I'm here for it up until the point where I feel like it's causing harm to people. Everyone should be able to laugh at themselves. Everyone. I mean, hypersensitivity has definitely run amok in our culture. Some people are very sensitive about everything. And I don't find myself to be one of those hypersensitive people, right? I can laugh. I can laugh because I know that any given moment, if I feel like I don't want to laugh, oh, baby, we can go toe to toe, however you want it. I'm okay because I know that I can defend myself verbally. But everyone is not prepared. Everyone's not built from the same stock. And is that Dave's responsibility to be accountable for all the hypersensitive people in the world? Absolutely, it's not. But it would be appreciated if he were aware of it. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this video. To all of you who have liked and commented on my previous videos, thank you for the comments. I do want to say this really quick. It's been really interesting for me, excuse me, because when I make the YouTube channel as a Black trans woman, I have to approve all the comments. And the reason I do that is for the safety of my channel because there's just some ignorant people out there who say some ignorant-ish. And I'm not going to have a whole bunch of comments filled with hate, and vitriol. If you want to do that, create your own channel, but you will not bring that energy over here. So I filter the comments so that I have to read them individually and approve them. On the Dave Chappelle video that I created, the people who have commented, whether they agree with what I said or disagree with what I said, approached it from a level of respect that I am not acclimated to. I was like, damn. Because I'm waiting for it. I'm anticipating it. Being trans is to exist in this world with this expectation that people are always going to behave their worst and not their best. Again, very much like the existence of Black people, people of color. We are more alike than we are different. And so when I've seen the comments from the people who have commented about the Dave Chappelle video, again, even the ones who have disagreed, I haven't heard, a tranny word, a F-bomb, all the ignorant things, a he, people misgendering, and all the things that people do to trans women to try to make you feel less about yourself, but those things that have zero impact on me. I was anticipating some of that, but haven't received one single comment. And I just want to say, that for me is proof positive that whatever Dave said in that moment, in that room, made some sort of impact in a positive way. So I just wanted to say that because I know people felt like I threw him under the bus on the previous video. So I just wanted to circle back around and give y'all part two and just sort of touch on a few points that I feel like I missed in that original video. Having said that, do me a huge favor after I get this frog out my throat. Do me a huge favor. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And as always, in closing, people, ask yourself this one poignant question. Why be better when we can be better? So let's be better together. Okay? I am the Mass Trans, and I'll talk to you guys again in my next video. Mwah. Bye-bye.